It's the darkest question there is. The one that sits beneath every war, every crime, every tragedy we pretend to forget. Why do people kill other people? What makes a human? A creature capable of love, art, music, tenderness. Become capable of ending another life. To answer that, we have to walk backward through our own evolution. In the beginning, killing was survival. Predators hunted to eat. Tribes fought for territory, resources, and safety. Anthropologists studying early societies found that violence was often organized, not random. Raids, ambushes, and revenge killings served a brutal logic. To protect kin, to defend resources, to send a message. Killing was a language. It said, "Don't touch what's mine." But over thousands of years, something strange happened. We became intelligent enough to know what killing means. And yet we kept doing it. Neuroscience offers a clue. In the human brain, the impulse for aggression originates in the amygdala, the same region that processes fear. When we feel threatened, our fight or flight systems activate. Adrenaline rises, empathy drops, and the body prepares for action. Under extreme stress, the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for reasoning and morality, shuts down. In those moments, violence isn't calculated. It's primal. It's the brain reverting to an older version of itself. But not all killing happens in panic. Some of it is deliberate, structured, justified. That's where psychology steps in. Humans kill not only out of fear, but out of belief. We are the only species that can turn murder into meaning. We can convince ourselves that killing is necessary, noble, righteous. That's the power and the danger of ideology. Social psychologists call this moral disengagement. Albert Bandura described how people rationalize harm by reframing it. They use language to create distance. They eliminate threats, defend honor, cleanse the nation. It's not killing, it's duty. Not cruelty, justice. Language becomes anesthesia. And once a person accepts that certain lives are less valuable than others, empathy fades. Empathy, the ability to feel another's pain, is what usually stops us. When functioning normally, the brain's mirror neuron system activates when we see someone suffer. We feel their pain as our own. That's what makes compassion possible. But in killers, especially in serial or ideological cases, that empathy response is disrupted or suppressed. Sometimes through trauma, sometimes through ideology, sometimes through conditioning. The Nazis called it Vernichtungskrieg, war of annihilation. Before killing, they stripped their victims of humanity. Jews, Roma, and others were portrayed as disease, vermin, contagion. It's the same psychological mechanism used in every genocide, every ethnic cleansing, every atrocity. Dehumanization. Once the enemy is no longer seen as human, anything becomes permissible. Neuroscience supports this too. Brain imaging shows that when people view those labeled as outsiders, activity in empathy-related areas decreases. The medial prefrontal cortex goes quiet. Emotionally, the mind disconnects. Dehumanization isn't just ideology, it's biology being rewritten by belief. Evolutionary psychology adds another layer. Humans evolved as cooperative competitors. We bonded strongly with our tribe and distrusted outsiders. That in-group out-group bias, once useful for survival, became the seed of violence. Warriors defended their own by destroying others. To protect one circle of empathy, they erased another. Over time, technology amplified this instinct. Stone became sword. Sword became gun. Gun became bomb. and with every step, distance increased. It's easier to kill someone you don't have to look at. Stanley Milgram proved this in the 1960s. His famous obedience experiment showed that ordinary people, in the presence of authority, would deliver what they believed were fatal electric shocks to strangers. 65% of participants went all the way, not because they were monsters, because they were human, because obedience, fear, and social pressure can override empathy. Hannah Arendt called this the banality of evil, the terrifying idea that atrocities are often committed not by sadists, but by people who simply stop questioning orders. So why do people kill? Sometimes out of rage, sometimes out of fear, sometimes out of ideology, sometimes because they've stopped feeling entirely, but always for one of two reasons. They see the other as a threat, or they stop seeing them as human. Yet strangely, we are also the species that creates laws, ethics, religions, all to stop killing. It's as if we know, deep down, that violence is a failure of imagination, a collapse of empathy, a blindness that disguises itself as strength. Civilization is our attempt to keep our ancient brain in check. But that brain still whispers, still hungers, still waits for permission. In the 21st century, killing has become more abstract. Drones, algorithms, economic wars. We no longer see the faces of those who suffer for our systems. And yet the same psychological roots remain. Distance, justification, and belief. We have just made it cleaner, quieter, more remote. Still, there are those who resist it. Those who put down their weapons, who refuse to hate. Neuroscientists have found that empathy can be trained, that compassion strengthens neural pathways just as violence erodes them. Peace, it turns out, is not the absence of aggression. It's the mastery of it. So why do people kill other people? Because the same brain that gave us art and kindness also gave us fear and dominance. Because empathy is fragile, and meaning can be weaponized. Because belief can turn into blindness. And maybe because, in the darkest corners of the mind, our oldest instincts still believe that survival is worth any price. We are creatures of contradiction, capable of unspeakable harm and unimaginable mercy. The question isn't just why we kill. It's whether we can learn, finally, not to.